I once heard a story about a person who wanted to win the lotto so bad. They could have really used the funds, and they prayed and prayed and prayed that God would help them win the lotto. Well, one day they're praying a couple years down the road into this journey, and God finally says, hello, I have everything ready. You just actually need to buy a ticket. And while the story is told in jest, the meaning is you can't just sit there and not take any action at all and expect that God will move things forward. Sometimes your participation is needed in things. And that's what the author of Ecclesiastes is getting at in chapter 11, especially verses 5 and 6, which say, just as you do not know how the breath comes into the bones in the mother's womb, so you do not know the work of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and at evening do not let your hands be idle, for you do not know which will prosper, this or that, or whether both alike will be good. So what we learn from this is that, like the person who's told by God to take action if they really want to win the lotto, we are not to just sit idly by and expect things to naturally happen. We need to take action, but we also must trust God with the timing, because we don't know how God works. We don't know all that God knows, all that God sees, all that God has planned. What we do know is that God is faithful. His timing is perfect. So in the waiting, trust God, but be sure you're not just sitting there without taking appropriate action. Blessings on you today.